So happy March to everyone. Then for today, also we have a very interesting agenda with a community spotlight. And you see here Shiyang that he has joined us from SAS. And they have actually developed a connector from SAS Viya into OpenMetadata. So they are going to explain us a bit what it is this SAS Viya platform. They gave me a bit of a preview yesterday. I had no idea about SAS, so that looks really interesting. And actually knowing that we can get all of those goodies into open metadata makes it even better. And that being said, I'm going to pass the word to Shiyang and Liz. They come from SAS. In this community spotlight, they are going to be talking about the SAS Viya connector. So I'm going to stop my screen and please, Shiyang, Liz, thanks again for participating, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Per. Let me share my screen real quick. Good morning. Well, thank you all for attending. Thank you to the Open Metadata community for the opportunity to showcase SAS information governance and the work that SAS has done for the SAS Viya connector. My name is Xiao. I am a associate software engineer development and testing, and my presenter. Her name is Liz McIntosh. Her current position is principal software developer. We both work under the data management division within SAS. Liz has been a great mentor along the way. Unfortunately, she's been feeling a bit under the weather, so it's just going to be me this time. So today we're going to give a bit of background on SAS information governance to provide context for the type of information available to open metadata. We're going to talk about why we choose to provide a connector to open metadata, then cover the key features that were implemented. I discuss a bit about development for both development and production, and show the implementation. So what are some of the business challenges that corporate face in the modern world with the fast-growing data? Well, over the last decade, organizations have been going through massive refactoring of the data ecosystem. Organizations want to leverage data as a differentiator to drive innovation and business value. Data consumers are requesting more and more data, but at the same time, they want to know where it comes from and how reliable it is. They ask for the end of tribal knowledge and for the advent of data democracy. The demand for data and access data is also increasing. However, without the consideration of the data volume, the location, and the IT effort needed for delivering it in the most appropriate way to the end user. So intelligent governance through metadata has its core value, openness and trust. SAS Viya is a unique platform that brings together all aspects of the analytics lifecycle, making it easy for different users, persons to work with data at different stages and collaborate effectively. So some of the key features that SAS information governance include the ability to tag, classify, and add business logic and terms, discover data across multiple data sources, provide valuable insights through profiling and semantic types information. Discovered data can be accessed to determine the quality and fit of the data. Metadata, descriptive, and data quality measures are provided in an easy-to-understand, business-friendly interface. Insights gained through profiling and democratization of assets are shared and are searchable with the team through SAS information governance. SAS recognizes the importance of offering organizations the ability to make SAS data insights and user collaboration accessible beyond the SAS Viya deployment. For organizations with complex ecosystems, bringing metadata together from various sources helps provide a unified view of data where data consumers and IT have a common understanding of business terms, systems that no longer fragmented, data is managed and well understood, which all leads to an increased trust in the data used to drive business. So organizations that chooses to leverage open metadata as a single place to discover, collaborate, and get the data right, can use the SAS Viya connector to add SAS metadata to the OpenMetadata ecosystem. When we began looking at OpenMetadata as an option, I read some of Suresh's blog. It was clear that he and the OpenMetadata team had been thinking about the problems organizations face with data management for years. That combined with a proven open source leadership experience helped gives confidence that this project could deliver. Some of the key features that make OpenMetadata an attractive option, open source option for us include the architecture that is simple, easy to deploy with minimum dependencies. And the schema is well modeled, strongly typed, and clearly documented. And the community involvement, which has continued to grow since we first started looking at open metadata, as Para was just shared earlier in the meeting, that there's over 3.7K stars on the project on GitHub, over 5,000 Slack members, and 225 contributors, and over 75 plus connectors. But all this sums up to that it gives us confidence that open metadata can provide users to organizations. And now I'm going to cover the features that we use the most when developing the connectors, the development, and the implementation. Working with open metadata has been a rewarding experience, offering rich collaboration opportunity with the open source community. Allow me to dive into various aspects of our journey with the open metadata. Let's begin by highlighting the features that have been implemented, that has been instrumental to us. The injection framework stands out as the backbone of our efforts, facilitating seamless metadata transfer from SAS Viya to open metadata. Much of our time was dedicated to configuring and managing ingestion framework, which is made convenient by the ability to execute workflow locally rather than solely relying on the open metadata user interface. The comprehensive documentation provided by Open Metadata was valuable, allowing us to quickly set up prerequisites and dive into our tasks. Lastly, I want to express our gratitude to the Open Metadata community and fellow contributors, particularly Para, Harsha, Shopa, and others who provided support and guidance throughout our journey. Now, I want to talk about some of the pinpoints and recommendations that we have regarding our experience. Transitioning to okay. So the first point is that managing dependencies manually in complex projects proved to be time-consuming and error-prone. Leveraging packages managers like pip streamline the process, but we suggest exploring predefined Docker images to further simplify deployment. Moreover, navigating a platform with an abundance of features can be overwhelming, which comprehensive documentations and examples are crucial to assist users in effortlessly utilizing the platform. And last but not least, improved documentation is also needed to address errors during data injection process, minimizing delays in data processing and analyzing. Reflecting on our experience in leveraging and managing open metadata, we initially utilized Docker container for local development before deploying it to a production environment on OpenStack infrastructure as a service. Helm chart was employed to seamlessly deploy the open metadata package on Kubernetes. Now let's explore three major features of the SAS Viya connector. So on the connector aspect, customer have the option to use credential to connect the connector to their SAS Viya deployment. by using criteria of natural language or faceted search to filter metadata based on various type of assets that SAS Viya supports, which include data tables, reports, and studio flows. We also implemented tables using table services, highlighting key features such as basic table profiles, assets relationships, and SAS customer properties, which include metadata that are associated with a particular table. Additionally, we introduced SAS reports and SAS studio flow through the dashboard services. Now, let us dive into the actual implementation. So this is what the connector looks like. You can see that from the top, user have the option to input their credentials, the option to turn on and off certain assets that they would want it to be included in the injection, as well as the option to filter out various type of asset based on natural search. We also included a link to the specific documentations that user can look into to see how to use the faceted search more effectively. Next is the table services. From the top, you can see that we use there's the topology of the name of the connector, which in this case is Prover. And next you have the provider, which is Cashier default. And then you see the name of the library, which is catalog prod. And now, right now, we're looking at the UK bank customer tables with a short description, shows when this table was last analyzed, and as well as a link that brings them to the particular assets in within SAS information catalog. Next, there are columns which was with their corresponding data types. And last but not least, the custom properties, which showcase some of the other metadata that are associated with that particular table. And next, when user click into profile and data quality tab, they can see some of the basic information that will include for the table, such as the amount row count, column count, the size of the table, as well as the creation date. If customer would want to find out more information about this particular tables, they can always click on the link in the description, which will bring them to the SAS Viya. SAS information catalog in SAS Viya. Now let's talk about the dashboard services, which we have implemented our SAS reports as well as SAS studio flows. And here you're looking at the SAS reports dashboard with a list of all the reports that live in it. And on the bottom, you can see that that includes the name of the report as well as the link that will bring them to that particular report in SAS Viya. Well, as we look ahead, we are open to suggestions and feedback from the community regarding future milestones in our collaboration with OpenMetadata. We remain committed to addressing customer needs and evolving accordingly. And that is the bulk of our presentation. Thank you very guys for coming and listening. And now we move on to taking questions.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Shiyang, for the presentation. We are always happy to see all of the effort that people put, especially for connectors, because we know that it's not an easy task, right? You need to understand very well the source. You need to dive into the ingestion framework, the APIs, the models and whatnot. So it's always, we always get very happy, right? When we see this excitement that pulls people in to build these kinds of integrations. So yeah, thanks again. And to anyone else that is actually collaborating, jumping in the code on the trenches, right? And trying to make sense of all of this information, please don't be shy if you also see, oh, maybe we can improve that part of the documentation. Maybe we can have this other separate developer or contribution guide that might make future contributors' life easier with this or that part. Please, that's also a more than valuable contribution because you come with fresh eyes, and we are then here to try to understand a bit more your pain points here and make sure that the learning curve for anyone else coming new in the community is as easy as possible.